Hello friends, welcome to JavaFx 3D tutorial. In this sub-series, we are talking about animation. In this video, we will see how to perform fade transition between transparent and opaque. So previously we saw keyframe based animation, and in the next videos we will see how to use the transition class and perform the animation. So the screenshot here shows the fade transition, and you can see the text here that undergoes the fade transition. So from transparent to opaque, and you can see how the transformation is taking place in terms of animation. To create fade effect based animation, JavaFx provides fade transition class. So this is the class we will use to perform fade animation. This class adjusts the opacity value from 0 to 1. So opacity value of any shape we can say. So any shape that supports the fill color property, and we can change the opacity of the object from 0 to 1. Here 0 denotes transparent and 1 denotes fully opaque. So let's state that when an object goes transformation from 0 to 1, it looks like the object is slowly appearing and then disappearing. So here this is transparent, right? When it moves from here to here, it looks like object is appearing, and when it moves back to 1 to 0, it looks like object is slowly hiding. Any shape with fill property can do fade animation, and you can use the fade transition class on the shape which supports the fill property. The properties from value and to value defines the animation boundary. So here we are not using the time frame. The transition class will take care of it, but what it expects is a from value and a to value. So once you define these two value, then animation will be played by making use of these two value. So internally it will act as a KV. In this example, we will create a text and fill it with a color. Then we will perform the fade animation based on the fill color. So here if you see, we are creating the text object, and this is the text location, X location, Y location, and this is the sample text. So you can replace this whatever text you want. Then we are setting the font. Since we want to display this text in a big size text, we set the font size as a 60. And font, you can use any stylish font also. Here we are using the Arial font with size 60. Then we are setting the fill color. So light green, and stroke is yellow. Stroke is yellow means, say for example, let's take just this letter S. So this is the letter S, and the fill color is light green, and this outer stroke is there, right? This is the outer stroke, and this outer stroke is an set stroke yellow color. So this is green, the inner fill, and the outer will be in yellow, and the stroke type is outside. So you can try this with different stroke type. Here we are just telling stroke type as outside. So if this is the shape, the type will be outside the shape or outside the line outline. Finally, we add our text to the scene graph using the root.getChildren.add. We saw this many times in all our previous examples. And here we create our FadeTransition class, FadeT, and if you see, we specify duration as 3 seconds, and we specify our text object here. Next, once FadeTransition is created, we set the initial value 0.1. So actually the range is 0 to 1. Here we are setting 0.1. That means transparent, not fully transparent, but highly transparent, we can say. And if it is 0.5, we can see half transparent or semi-transparent. This is on 0.1 side, so a highly transparent to opaque, lightly transparent, 0.1. It's not 1. That means this is slightly transparent. Here it is heavily transparent. So we set from and to value. So the timeline will be calculated based on this. The start is 0.1 and here it is 0.9, and animation will be played for 3 seconds. So during the construction of FadeTransition, the time itself is specified the time frame. So the duration of the animation is 3 seconds, and the start value is 0.1 and end value is 0.9, which we are setting the opaque of the shape here is text. So next, cycle count, the same property as we set previously for the timeline. The same way you can set cycle count. The animation will play for 5 times, and the auto reverse is true. That means object will go from transparent to opaque, then it will return back and it will cycle through this because we specify auto reverse as true. Finally, we play our animation. Alright, now let's go to the demo and see how it works. Now let's create new file. Or as usual, we can just copy this and paste. I will call this as 10 and fade animation. Here in the fade animation, we will remove the code snippet which we added in the previous sample, and we will remove all unused imports. So here we are creating the anchor pane, setting the size for our stage. So here, if you see, we are setting the color for our scene as well. Then we are preparing the stage animation. Here is fade animation. and we are creating the text object, and we are setting the font, and so we have to careful. The font comes from two packages. One is from AWT. Here I'm choosing JavaFx text font, and we are setting the fill color. We'll add the text to our scene graph. Alright, now we will make a run. So this is our stage, and you can see stage background color is changed, and this is the text. By default, the text which we add is 100% opaque. That means opaque is 1 here. So we will also set the fill color. We will also set stroke. So stroke color is yellow, and stroke type is outside, and you can explore other properties here. If you see inside, outside, centered, so here I'm using the outside stroke. That means from the text edge, the color will be applied outside the outside the font. Stroke type outside. Let's run these once. And you can see that yellow color is applied towards the outer edge. Somewhere you can see, right? So once a shape is created, we can go for fade animation. Duration, fade transition. It's from JavaFx animation, fade transition. Save. Now we can see the animation, and we created the fade transition for the text object, and the duration is 3 seconds. Then we set initial from and to value. Cycle count is 5. That means 5 into 3, 15 seconds. The animation will be played with the auto reverse set to true. Now let's run this, and you can see from transparent to opaque, opaque to transparent, and it will cycle like this. That's all here. We set a cycle count of 5. So we can also go for a millisecond. Here animation will be played half second every cycle. So we will put cycle count as 50. That means 25 seconds it is coming, right? Or here also we can reduce it. And now you can see a quick effect on the fade on file. So it's a looks like it's blinking, right? Just by increasing the animation speed, and we did that for 50 times. All right, that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.